This is the year where we're just betting on ourselves. We're just going to do the things. We're just going to show up. I'm Marisa, and this is Balance in Bloom. I am also the founder of Babe Seeking Balance. And honestly, where do I even start? From around 2023, I had this idea that I really wanted to bring the girlies together. It didn't even start off as just bringing the girlies together initially, but I'm big on the sisterhood aspect of Babe Seeking Balance, that reliability that comes with sisterhood, that, I can just exhale, I can just relax, I can just be. So I was looking, or thinking, should I say, of having that as a thing back in 2023, but I just didn't really have the confidence to do it yet. I just didn't really know where to start. It didn't matter that I had previously done corporate events when I was working back home in England. It didn't matter that I knew how to build community online again through corporate jobs, my social media jobs. It didn't matter that I had all of that experience. There's something different about when you're putting yourself forward, you're putting your idea forward. It's fine when I'm spending someone else's money doing it, all right? But when it's you, there is something to be said about that. It's really that imposter syndrome starts to kind of seep in. I've been in marketing since I graduated back in, when the hell was that? I graduated from my degree in 2019 and I graduated from my master's. No, I did not. I graduated from my degree in 2012. Wow. And from the master's in 2013. What I now do, I no longer work in the corporate space. I am self-employed. I have 2 businesses. Regardless, last year, 2024, September 2024, my 34th birthday, I said, I'm not going to buy myself a gift. What I want to do is actually gift something else to the community. I'm going to be right there with you all, not just facilitate the connections, but also build them myself, right? I did the tea party in the park with a small group of girlies and the feedback was so wonderful. And then after that, I have since done some self-love, self-care, self-preservation themed events. I feel so strongly about Babe Seeking Balance and I feel so compelled to keep doing what I'm doing, even if only a few people show up, because it's the few people that show up who are obviously on the same page. They're Babe Seeking Balance, they're Babe Seeking Connections, they're babes seeking a place where you can chill out and be, like I said, connect. It's always a good time. It's always fun. It's very authentic. I really love to create an environment that just feels safe and feels like you can just be yourself. So that's what Babe Seeking Balance is. It's rooted in rest, thriving through balance, rooted in rest, meaning that active rest component where we're actually able to do things that are not necessarily productive, but are still stimulating for the soul. And thriving through balance, that's really to do with how you define balance. It's not going to look the same for everyone. Balance for someone who has kids versus doesn't have kids, who has a demanding job versus not a demanding job, who is currently unemployed versus whatever. There are so many different variables that will make the definition of balance different for anyone and everyone. But that's what this is about. And it's just no judgment, no pressure, no anything. It's more of a call to action to put rest at the center, because obviously as Black women, we have a very tumultuous history with rest and all it encompasses. And I do think it's all about redefining that and making sure, like I said, it is at the center. Literal physical rest where we need to sleep and regenerate ourselves so that we can actually function. It's so impactful in every area of life. I know for me, I have my morning routine down pat, all right? But when it comes to that nighttime routine, it's something that I'm actively working on, because I do find it hard to physically fall asleep at times because my brain is just going. But also outside of that physical aspect of rest, it's the active rest that I spoke about, those moments when we are awake and just still have the ability to decompress while we're still awake. So that could look like, doing a puzzle. It could look like what we did at one of my events. We made lanterns. They were so pretty. We had the pressed flowers, and it was just such a cute little exercise to do. It could be art. It could be anything that doesn't speak to being productive, but it speaks to just calming yourself, finding that peace, grounding yourself, just getting back into alignment outside of the events and that physical space. Something that I definitely do enjoy is listening to podcasts. And there are so many fabulous Black women who I really want to talk to. I really want to get to know, like, girl, how you doing all that? Like, how you got it like that? You have the same 24 hours in the day that I do. And for me, it's just going to be interesting to have these really candid conversations with Black women who I look up to, who I would like to get to know, because there are honestly so many gems that we can pick up from our sisters, right? And some of them are so simple yet effective. And I just always feel like there's so much to learn from engaging with people, speaking with people, finding out how their brain works and finding out how they navigate their lives. So with that being said, welcome to Balance in Bloom. I hope that this is something that you will be interested in. So what are we actually going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about balance, obviously, blooming, obviously, self-care, self-preservation, and all of the beautiful, messy parts that make up navigating your mid to late 20s, your early 30s, mid 30s, and beyond. I still have those nerves that I had when I started Babe Seeking Balance in September. It's exactly the same here, but I really am a proponent of doing things even when you're scared, doing things even when you're not sure, doing things and having faith in the Lord that it's going to work out, you know? What's that phrase? Lead by faith, not by sight. That is something that is definitely going to be implemented here, because I just feel like I'm being called to do this. And even if I have a 1-2 listener, I know that I'm reaching someone, or indeed that the guests are touching someone. And this isn't going to be a thing where every week it's going to be me just speaking on a topic. There will definitely be guests that will be the bread and butter of this. But of course, there might be a week or two where your girl's just speaking on a topic and sharing her thoughts, opinions, insights, because life is a crazy old thing, and sometimes things happen that you don't expect, that you weren't anticipating, and those can be good or bad, right? So what am I hoping we all glean from Balance in Bloom? Well, for a start, conversations that are deep, that are real, that are necessary. And who will we be hearing from? We'll be hearing from entrepreneurs, creators, wellness advocates, and honestly, everyday women who are looking to redefine their relationship with rest, looking to define what balance looks like for them. The needle is always going to be moving when it comes to that. Your life looks very different as you transition through different seasons and periods in life. At the heart of it all will be removing that guilt, that subconscious guilt, or maybe it's very much at the surface guilt about resting. We want to talk about success without burnout and how to stay true to ourselves when life is pulling us in 1,000,001 directions, as it often does. For my fellow empaths out there, for people who are naturally giving, nurturing, this is definitely a space for you. The space to be seen, to be heard, to be ourselves, and really understand that balance isn't about perfection, but intention. I just want to say a heartfelt thank you for rocking with me as I try out something new. I am so grateful for you being here. And if this resonates, please go ahead and subscribe, share it with your girlies, share it with your mom, share it with your sister, share it with anyone you believe will take something from it. So let's do this, guys. Let's grow together and let's balance in bloom.